What's up? Today, I'm gonna teach you guys levitation photography. How to shoot it, how to edit it. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll teach you how I floated right there. Roll that intro. Levitation photography. All right guys, honestly, it's super simple. You literally need a tripod, a model, and some accessories. Speaking of which, hang on a second. You're gonna need something like this, you know, just in case you're shooting and you get tired and you want to sit down. No, it's for the levitation. Come on, let's get started, you filthy animal. Wait, hang on a second. Something on the screen here. All right, that's much better. How did I get here?
And now we're back to How Did I Get Here? The only show that makes you ask yourself, how did I get here? Here's our first person.
We've got our stool, we've got our camera, we've got our tripod. The only thing we need now is a model. And I didn't even think to... Hey. Don't I know you from somewhere?
Yes, you do.
Okay, it must be fate. Would you like to model for me?
Of course.
Bringing back a fan favorite. Let's do this! All right, shooting levitation photography is pretty straightforward. Do you want to tell them what to do?
You're the professional, at least you.
I just put her on the spot. It's very straightforward. You need your camera, obviously. You need a good tripod. What you're gonna want to do, first and foremost, is frame your shot, have your model sit on a stool or stand where you want them to be, and frame it up properly, because once you set the camera, once you set your shot, you can't move it. Shooting is very straightforward. You'll have your model doing whatever levitation pose it may be. Take your picture. After that, remove your model, remove the stool they're sitting on, take a second picture. This is gonna come in handy when it comes to editing. What you're gonna wanna do is overlay the two pictures and then remove the stool. Pretty straightforward, right? Another thing to consider when you're doing something like this is the actual stool itself. So when you're shooting, you don't want to have the stool covering up any part of your model, which is why I've got Sierra wearing this nice long flowy skirt. Plus it kind of hides any like imperfections, not you in like the surroundings. And it makes it a lot easier to edit. So, you know, flowy dress, levitation, makes it look a lot cooler. How do you feel about getting in the water down there?
I'm excited.
You don't look excited, you look terrified.
It's cool.
I'm making Sierra. You see that, folks? See that little stool right there, right inside the waterfall? But the good news is I'm going in the water as well, so you know, she doesn't feel that bad. Look at her go. Look at her go. No fear. Now that we've got some shots to work with, all that's left is to edit them. Sierra, let them know how to do that.
Again, I'm gonna leave that to you.
It's like she's, you know what? Fine, I got this. I'm not gonna waste any of your time, so we'll just edit them when I get home. Whew. I am loving this movie magic. It just makes things so much easier. And speaking of easy, let's edit these photos. Let's jump into Photoshop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a photo open. I mean, first step is to open your photos in Photoshop. I feel like I don't need to mention that because how else are you gonna edit the photos? But what you could do is open them in Lightroom or your preferred editing software. You know, if you wanna color grade your photos, that's great. You know, tune them up a bit. Things to be careful for, if you're gonna color it before you merge them, you have to get the coloring perfect. If you color grade one and the other one doesn't quite match it, you're gonna notice when you're erasing things away. And I say that because like you could in Lightroom color grade one and then apply the settings to the other, but if the lighting was even off by a little bit on that second shot, you're gonna notice a difference. So what I like to do is import them into Photoshop, do my edits, and then color grade it all afterwards. You can always save the image as a raw file or a PSD, open it in Lightroom if that's your preferred method. let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. We've got our picture of Sierra. She is levitating, but there's the stool there. So what we're gonna do is we got this open. We're gonna Command A, select it all, and then we're gonna go over to our other photo without her in it. Here's where the tripod becomes very important. If your photos don't line up and you go to add them on top of each other, it's gonna be a mess. You're gonna spend time adjusting, and just make sure you did a good job with the tripod and you'll be fine. We're gonna paste that photo over top. Boom. All right, now we're gonna just lower the opacity a little bit to see how this is gonna line up. And you can see my picture of Sierra is a little bit higher. Maybe I touched the camera or something. So we're just gonna shift it down a tiny bit. Now everything lines up. We're good. And here comes the fun and easy part. I've got my tablet, which makes it a little bit easier for me, but you don't need one. You can use your mouse, you can use your laptop. It's very straightforward. All you're gonna do is erase away that stool, and then it'll look like she's floating. You'll have to maybe make a little bit of adjustments to her body, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and erase that away. Just be aware of the shadows. If you look at the bottom of the stool in this photo, you can see the shadow being cast by one of the legs. Make sure you erase that away as well, or take into account how the shadows would have been affected. If you're shooting with direct light right above, your model's gonna be casting a downward shadow. If the light's coming from different angles, just pay attention so that you get that realism, that it makes sense what was happening. So in order to erase this, we're not gonna use the eraser tool. We're gonna reference a video I did a long time ago about not destroying your photos. You're gonna apply a layer mask, which is in the bottom corner, boop, and then with your brush set to black, you are just going to erase away, or I guess draw over, that stool. And look at that, it is just erasing away seamlessly. Woo-wee. Zoom right in, get in there, be nice and fine with it. Take your time. On something like this, like, it's so worth just taking your time and erasing it away properly. This way, no viewer can tell you even did anything. If you did your job perfectly, your model is going to look like hack, not really, but because nobody's seen the raw, unedited version, nobody's gonna know that you painted in a little bit of her body there. Going back down to our layer mask, check this out. This is what I was talking about before. Right down here, here's the shadow of the leg of the chair, and all we're gonna do is with our brush tool, nice large soft brush, just erase it away. And there you have it, without much color grading. I'll leave the color grading up to you guys. That's a preference thing. You know how to do that already. If you need LUTs, you can go check them out on my site. I'll link them down below. We've got the fall LUTs. We've got my older LUTs, all free to you guys to use. Slap it on top of your levitation pictures and show me what you got. Back to you, Sierra.
Oh, thanks, Dan. So if you guys really like me, and maybe Daniel too, because I guess he's important, you can give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and hopefully Daniel will have me back then.
Oh, you guys are still here. All right, you stayed to the end of the video. You want to learn how to do the trick. I get it. I'll show you what you saw before and then what you didn't see. There's no editing in post. It's super simple. You might have even already known the trick, but watch this. So, looks like I'm levitating a little off the ground, right? Here's what it looks like from the front. All you're doing is lifting one leg completely off the ground and standing on your toe on the other foot. So you're not actually levitating, but depending on what angle the person's viewing it from, it looks like you are. Ooh. Thanks for watching. Love ya.